he has had no real professional opponents other than Tommy Fury that were legitimate world-class boxers.
Yeah.
The problem is he was like a famous kid, and then no one took him seriously.
Yeah.
You just will never be a good fighter. So I wish that I could have knocked him out at the start. But as we saw,
He liked sparring.
Yeah.
When I watched it, which, look, I paid for it. They got me. I thought it was going to be a real fight.
But me, I'm going to speak my mind, and I'm just going to keep it 100, man. Jake Paul is fugazi. He's fake.
That's how you feel.
Truly feel. I'll bust him up and his trainer in the same night. 2 for 1.
Joe Rogan reacted with clear shock after Anthony Joshua revealed that Jake Paul had pushed for what appeared to be a scripted bout, something Joshua said he was never willing to accept. According to Joshua, he only agreed to the idea of a fight if it involved real danger, real risk, and genuine competition. Rogan connected this revelation to the long-running criticism surrounding Jake Paul's previous wins, many of which have faced accusations of being overly controlled, carefully matched, or involving opponents who offered limited resistance. Critics argue that those victories helped inflate Paul's record and public perception, creating title-level talk without consistent exposure to elite competition. This has fueled ongoing debate across boxing and wider sports circles about legitimacy, intent, and whether spectacle is being prioritized over authentic sport. Rogan went further by saying that the fight...
Yeah.
You would assume that wealth would take away your drive for
But
competition.
it hasn't, yeah.
He's also nuts, right? Just
Yeah.
the fact that he's willing to fight the 2-time heavyweight champion, former Olympic gold medalist.
Yeah.
A guy who's gigantic in his prime, built like a Greek god.
Yeah.
And you're going to...
than a true, high-stakes war. While there were moments of tension that kept viewers engaged, he felt it never reached a point where serious damage seemed imminent. Rogan explained that boxing can become extremely dangerous very quickly, so seeing both fighters leave the ring without major injuries was ultimately a positive outcome. From his perspective, safety should always outweigh hype, and he expressed relief that neither man absorbed heavy shots that could have caused long-term harm or career-altering consequences.
You've known him for a long time. I've known him for a long time.
Chael Sonnen took a more critical and analytical stance, arguing that the matchup simply does not hold up when examined logically. He pointed out that a fighter with roughly 11 professional bouts should not realistically be sharing the ring with an experienced Olympic medalist like Anthony Joshua. Sonnen emphasized that the gap in skill, ring IQ, and high-level experience is too significant to overlook. He also highlighted the natural weight difference, noting that Joshua was not only far more seasoned but also physically larger than Jake Paul's usual opponents. In Sonnen's view, under standard competitive boxing conditions, commissions, trainers, and regulators would never approve such a fight to him. The matchup raises serious questions about authenticity, suggesting that when basic sporting logic is ignored, fans are justified in doubting whether the contest was designed for real competition.
For Jake, or if I think that Joshua is more experienced or better, I believe I believe boxing's real. If boxing is an actual sport, if it is an actual sweet science, then of course a guy that's done it 11 times cannot compete with the Olympic champion. Of course. This is before you get size in there, before you get professional world titles in there. A guy that's done this 11 times cannot go into the Olympic Games and medal. If boxing, in fact, should be believed. I was with Portnoy. I liked it. I liked how he said that. So, that's how I feel too. Because I'm also cheering for Jake Paul. But I get it. I know we're not going to win tonight. But that's a compliment to boxing. And it is very hard for people to digest that Anthony Joshua can't cut him off. He can't find him. He can't do anything with that reach. He can't go out there and rush him. He can't throw this kid in a corner and beat him up. That is disappointing to me. That is baffling to me. As an MMA guy, I will just share with you, that would not be a problem at all. At all. If a guy's running away from me, it would be absolutely no problem. And you could put the boundaries at the city line. You could put it at the state line. I will track him down. I will put him somewhere and I will beat the dog out of him. So in a ring, I get where that is really disappointing. I get it, but it doesn't change the fact that that's what happened. And then Joshua, by the way, has the right to turn to some other thing. Where I'm saying he ought to cut him off, grab him, throw him in the corner, go beat him up. While I'm saying that, Joshua has the right to go, I could feel some stuff. I knew it was going to come my way, right? For Joshua to say, well, I had the experience, and yeah, he was moving, and yeah, I could have cut him off a little different. But I didn't mind the way this was going. I didn't mind that he was running. I knew he would slow down. I knew he would come to me eventually. Like, for that to be Joshua's mindset.
Or primarily for promotion and attention. Rogan added that Jake Paul has consistently shown a desire to be taken seriously as a legitimate fighter, stepping into the ring to prove he can handle real challenges rather than avoiding them. He noted that Jake often performs best when facing opponents who pose genuine tests, not scenarios that feel scripted or predetermined. However, Rogan stressed that facing Anthony Joshua represents a completely different level of danger, because Jake has never fought someone with Joshua's size, power, and elite heavyweight experience. Rogan questioned how his stamina and durability would truly hold up in a fully intense, high-pressure bout, while acknowledging Jake's speed and technical
When we expect Jake Paul to be fighting like higher level competition, it's not because he has under 10 fights. It's because he talks a lot of shit.
Yeah, but that's also why we're talking about him.
And that's exactly true. But I think on both sides of the equation, we've got to like admit that a young fighter under 5 fights isn't fighting great competition. So
True.
if you're calling Jake Paul a legitimate boxer and then you're expecting him to do what legitimate boxers do, I'm not sure he's not doing that, and probably more.
That's what I'm saying about the knockout of Tyron Woodley, because it was just a regular boxer who's just coming up. And what does he have?
Tim Bradley offered one of the harshest critiques, openly calling Jake Paul fake and accusing his fights of lacking real competition. Bradley argued that many of Paul's bouts appear orchestrated, with opponents seemingly following an unspoken script instead of engaging in genuine, high-risk boxing exchanges. He criticized how these types of matchups have allowed Jake to build a record that exaggerates his true ability and misleads casual fans. According to Bradley, while the events may be entertaining, they do not represent authentic boxing skill or danger. He warned that this approach undermines the integrity of the sport and sends the wrong message. Two young fighters.
I can't knock you I can't knock your hustle when you built something outside of boxing and you say, hey, yo, I'm coming over here to the sport now and I'm gonna pick and choose who I fight. Y'all come follow me. If they follow him, man, I just understand what it is. I know what I'm looking at. You're not gonna fool me over here. Save that stuff for them other people, because I'm not gonna believe that I'm the face of, no, you're not the face of boxing. I'm not giving you that, because that's for a lifer.
But that's what he believes.
That's cool. I can't knock him for that. People believe a lot of things for a lot of different reasons. I'm just saying, you can do all the rah-rah stuff. That's your business. But I just know what I'm looking at, right? But on the monetary side and it being an event, the truth is that when he does fight, it does bring attention around the sport. People debate, they argue, people want to see the fight. Is it legit? Is it him and Mike Tyson? No, it's an event.
Daniel Cormier provided a more balanced perspective, acknowledging Jake Paul's bravery for stepping into the ring with Anthony Joshua despite the obvious risks, while joking that many people would accept a fight for an enormous payday. Cormier still credited Jake for having the courage to face a seasoned heavyweight after previously competing against much lighter opponents. He praised Paul's athleticism, movement, and strategy, explaining how constant motion and evasiveness helped him avoid the full force of Joshua's power. Cormier noted that fighting while constantly moving is exhausting, and compared the challenge to wrestling, where repeated pressure and recovery demand both physical and mental resilience. He concluded that Jake Paul...
What were your thoughts on that? I thought Jake Paul was a brave guy. Then I found out he made $100 million. I was thinking, well, anybody would fight for $100 million, but bro, he fought. I literally ran into Logan Paul in New York City, and I said to him, it was weird too, because I was going into a studio to interview Kamaru Usman for one of my shows. And Logan Paul was at the coffee shop. He's like, DC. I was like, what's up, Logan? Because he does a tremendous job at WWE. Yeah, Logan Paul does.
I don't watch WWE, but I know that.
Dude, you're huge. He might literally be the best professional wrestler in the world.
Really?
He's such an athlete, bro.
Yeah.
He's unbelievable. But I just stroking him right now. I swear to God, bro, it's unbelievable how good the kid is.
Okay.
From the moment he started doing it, he was really good.
He can cut a promo, huh? Like,
He got what kids say. Promo. He's got a promo, but he's also good in the ring.
Okay.
He's really athletic. I said to him, I go, what type of safeguards do you have in place to make sure he doesn't get his head knocked off against Anthony Joshua? He's gonna fight Gervonta Davis, who weighed in at 137 2 fights ago. So now you're gonna go fight Anthony Joshua, who weighs all of 250? He said, all right. He said he's gonna just fight him. I go, man, he's very bold. And then What happened was he ran a lot.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Everybody goes, even Eddie Hearn goes, he did better than Francis. And I'm like, well, Francis didn't move around much. Francis thought he could actually fight him because of what he did to Tyson Fury, right? Couldn't. Tyson Fury might have overlooked him a little bit. And I think that's what happened. Like, he got caught with the right hand dropped. Anthony Joshua was like, I'm not taking any chances with this guy. So he fought him and he took him serious. But Francis didn't move. Jake did a good job of moving around for a long time. But all that moving costs energy. Right?
I mean, I used to spar with the Robert Guerrero here in Gilroy.
Yep.
And I would go in and spar with him. I'd tell people that I would spar with him for his first 4 rounds. He would do 12 rounds.
Yep.
He would use me as his warm-up rounds.
Yep.
And I was in fight shape.
Yep.
I wouldn't go and spar unless I was ready to fight. Like, I was 2 or 3 weeks out from my I was ready to fight. And by the 4th round, I was fucking exhausted. And he would just make me miss. You know, if you miss more, it makes you more tired.
Especially when you're throwing big punches like Jake was throwing.
Yeah.
And then wrestling. He's like shooting double legs and shit. Like, all you look like Dylan Davis. Oh, seconds, bro. All that wrestling was crazy, dog. I was like, bro, have you never in my life seen that much wrestling in a boxing match?
It was Dylan Davis, Logan Paul all over again.
Every time he would fall, you got to get up.
Yeah.
Every time you shoot, you got to get up.
It makes you more tense. It should be more iron off you. It's a worse shot.
I mean, and Anthony Joshua
showed boldness, adaptability, and respect for both the sport and his opponent, demonstrating that despite ongoing controversy around his career, he approached this fight with seriousness and commitment. That wraps up today's breakdown. Stay tuned for more, and until next time.